in the follow-up to my first video on setting up the Dji RSC2 with the Panasonic HC-X2000, we are going to be taking it out on our travels and seeing what works best, whether the optical image stabilization or the Ronin or a combination of the two. So let's go have a look. Okay, I've got the Panasonic camera attached to the gimbal. I'm out and about. I've also attached the briefcase handle, which makes it a lot easier to hold when you're moving around. So I've switched to the Panasonic camera now. I'm just out and about locally, walking or running my dog with the frisbee. So I'm just holding the camera, trying to keep it pointed forward. So even bending down to pick up the frisbee, there's no noticeable shaking or vibration. So yep, just walking along, and you'll notice I'm throwing the frisbee now, and it's still, reasonably stabilized. The ground is uneven, so it's not the most tricky of terrains, but it's not walking on tarmac or pavement. So I'm now running briefly. Again, there's a small amount of shake, but nothing too much. So I'm now changing the grip so I can hold the briefcase handle and the grip of the RSC2, so I can use the trigger button to do a forward lock on the camera. So that way I'm not accidentally moving the camera left or right with the joystick that's on the RSC2. So again, if you double click it, it will normalize and point dead forward. So again, just walking around, I've moved back to the briefcase handle grip, which does make life a lot easier. I've now changed the setting on the RSC2 so the camera is held like this, whereas the first time it was held like this. And I find with a bit of experimentation, you'll find a setup that works the best for you. So yeah, I think on the whole, it is pretty good. If you're wondering what the other camera is that we're using, that is the Insta361R, I think just with the standard 4K lens on a selfie stick. So here I am attempting to jog with the camera, and you'll notice a small amount of shake. Whilst not perfect, it still is much better than without the RSC2, which you will see now. So now I'm going to take the camera off the gimbal and just use the built-in optical image stabilization that comes with the camera. So I'm just turning it on. You'll see no gimbal, just the camera. Obviously I haven't got the hand grip, but noticeably it now looks like something from the Blair Witch Project. Just walking now, I'm running with the camera, and yes, I think that is completely unusable. So comparing the difference between the RSC2 and the built-in optical stabilization, you will see the difference is quite night and day. So yeah, it does work. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out what happens if you use both the built-in stabilization and the RSC2. And as you can see, it's amazing. It's so much better. This has pretty much nailed it. I'm walking backwards, being chased by the dog. I didn't do any running at this point, but I did move between holding the briefcase handle and also the conventional hand grip for using the RSC2. I used the forward lock button, and now you'll see I'm about to go out of my workplace gate, and the image stabilization is really good. So I would definitely recommend, if you are going to use this, you're going to need to use both, but the RSC2 and the built-in optical image stabilization. So there you go. What do you think? Granted, if I'd spent a bit more time, I probably would have used the ND filter built into the Panasonic camera, but it's really good. There's a little bit of horizon movement, more so than the camera movement, which is one thing that I do know Insta360 have recently put in with their software, where you got the horizon stays level. So I'm hoping, something like that could be implemented for this, maybe as a plugin or something. But there you go. Let us know what you think in the comment section beneath, and we'll see you soon.